Okay, my name is Hank Keithley. I am assigned to moderate this tonight, and I want to thank everybody for coming to our second annual football preview evening. We have a number of former coaches in the audience tonight that I'd like to recognize. If you could stand up, please, when I call your name. From Claymont, we have Jeff Yurko. Is Jeff here? From Indian Valley, we've got Dave DiDonato and Scott Young. From Indian Valley South, Mick Donato. He's over here. And Jim Meese. From Garaway, Bob Geiger, Donnie Hartler. From Strasburg, Ron Hurst, the legend. From Tuscarawas Central Catholic, John Zuckel. From Tuscarawas Valley, John Hurst. From Newcomerstown and New Philadelphia, Ward Holdsworth. There he is. And then the man who coached at Indian Valley North, New Philadelphia, Tuscarawas Central Catholic, Bob Zontini. Are there any coaches here that we missed? Did we miss anybody? Okay. Also, I'd like to introduce, I don't have a list of names, but I have seen a couple of them in the crowd tonight. Inductees into the Tuscarawas County Sports Hall of Fame. If you'd stand up, please. I know there's a couple guys here. Thank you. Okay, now we will have door prizes tonight, just like we did last year. Between coaches, we're going to call names. If your name is called, just hold your hand up. We have guys who have gift cards and door prizes that they'll be handing out. So if they call your name, just hold your hand up and somebody will bring it right to your table. Okay, we're going to start off tonight with the introduction of our head coaches. We have 9 high schools in Tuscarawas County. 6 of those made the playoffs last year, and 3 of those will have brand new coaches this year. So we're going to shake up the order a little bit that we're going in. We're going to start the evening with head coach Jason Wallach from Garaway. He had a very successful season last year, and we'll give him a chance to talk about it right now. Jason?
Thanks, Hank. Appreciate it. First I want to just thank the Tuscarawas County Sports Hall of Fame for putting this on again. The numbers are obviously growing. Probably gonna have to find a new place to have this before too long. If it keeps growing. In fact, I was coming back from my meal, walking back and carrying my plate, and Jim Morris is behind me and didn't know where to go. I said, "Follow me, Jim. If I can fit through there, you can." So we found our way back. But no, we are. We're very blessed to have a football community, and I'm talking about the county. The support that you guys give us is tremendous. In fact, last year at Louisville, playing in the Final Four, you come out and our side of the stadium was absolutely filled. And we don't have enough people in Sugar Creek to fill that stadium, so I know that there are a lot of you guys that were there. So our coaches were complaining at halftime that the press box was shaking, and that's the truth. When we blocked their field goal, it was just very exciting. So we're very blessed to be in such a great community. Tiger Laverde, who, if you don't know him, he's the head coach at Kirtland. I think they've won 9 of the last 11 state championships down at the state clinic this year. We were sitting talking, and he said, "Jason," he said, "your community is unbelievable." He said, "All the years we've played in the playoffs, I've never seen a crowd so big that we did at Louisville." So that's a testament to you guys as well. So I want to thank my administration also. I know Chip Amicone, our AD, and Tom Haas, our principals, here tonight. just for entrusting me with the program. Such a supportive community as well that really spoils our kids. I'm going to talk a little bit about change, how the game has changed. The community support has changed. I mean, our kids are spoiled, and they do work their tails off. They deserve it, but they're very spoiled. Thank my coaching staff. A lot of those guys are here tonight. We've got 13 coaches on the varsity level. 4 of them, now this is a challenge, 4 of them are ex-head coaches. And 4 of them that have been very successful. 2 wrestling programs, a basketball program. Dave Shuck coaching 2 state championship basketball, or Final Fours at Garaway. And then Phil Forshey, who's a very successful baseball coach. So that's a challenge, but all those guys come every day to work their tails off. They all check their egos at the door. We're all on the same page. Makes my job easy. I remember Dan F. telling me a long time ago when I went to Dover practice, he said, "Jay, this is crazy. This is great." He says, "You stick in it long enough and you don't have to coach. You just sit around and blow the whistle." And that's what I do today. I just blow the whistle. I keep our guys on schedule and keep moving on. So, but the game has changed. You old coaches, past coaches I should say, not necessarily old, but past coaches, that ran the wing tee, ran the wishbone, ran the power eye. The game has changed. The speed of the game has changed. We have 9 games this year on turf. Whoever thought that Sugar Creek Garaway would play 9 games on turf 5 years ago, but now have 9 games on turf. $1 million facility, very blessed that we have from our weight room program. We do our weight room facility that we just built last year has helped change the game. But 2 things I learned from the media, or 2 things that I was taught a long time ago, that I know we're supposed to sit up here and talk about players, and one thing I do not do is I do not talk about individuals. So if you're wanting to know who our quarterback's going to be, well, I'll tell you it's going to be Brady Geibel, because he was our starting quarterback last year on a 14-1 football team. So he will be our starting quarterback. But a wise man told me a long time ago, if you don't mention individuals, you don't have to worry about the parent of the individual you don't mention. So I don't talk about individuals. The other thing I've learned, in fact, Joe Geckler can attest to that because he asks me all the time on WTUZ, "Hey, I don't talk about individuals." So now he just says, "Hey, I know you don't like to talk about individuals." So it's great. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you not asking me anymore about individuals. The other thing is never underestimate an opponent. Never underestimate an opponent. Same thing. Media asks all the time. Bill Hammersley asks me all the time, WJR, "Hey, what do you know about your next opponent?" I don't know. We don't watch film. We don't look ahead. So media, thank you, but don't ask me about individuals and don't ask me about our next opponent because I won't answer those questions. What I can tell you is we're very excited about this coming year. We've got great numbers. We have 66 kids on our varsity roster. Doesn't mean we have 66 players, but we've got 66 kids who've worked their tails off in the off season. We've had a great off season. We have a lot of kids to replace from last year's Final Four team. The expectations haven't changed, the standard hasn't changed, and the culture has not changed. So we're excited about the year, and thank you guys for your support, and thank you Tuscarawas County Sports Hall of Fame for having me tonight. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Hank. I got to start off by saying I feel a little more pressure at this thing than all these other coaches up here for one simple reason. My public speaking teacher in high school was in the crowd. So I apologize in advance, Mr. Gunther, and I promise the papers I have are for the crowd's benefit. I want to thank the Hall of Fame for putting us on. It's nice to have such a nice local event to kick off a sport that we all love, and a season that Ohioans, especially love. Sometimes Ohioans might even take it a little bit too serious, but it is high school football and it's a special thing. I'd like to thank our administration. They have a table over here, our new AD, Zach Golick, board member Eric Kinsey, high school principal Aaron Haney over here. We have tremendous support. We're truly blessed at Indian Valley to have such a great leadership team, and it starts at the top. Dr. Wentworth is just a tremendous man and a tremendous leader, and it's real nice to work for somebody whose life philosophies and expectations match up with your own. So we're fortunate there. We have really good people down in southern Tuscarawas County too, in Braves Nation. So I'd like to thank our parents and our community, the support, just like Coach Wallach said, at their, in their playoff run last year. We had a little playoff run, not quite as good as theirs, but our stands were packed every time. Our community gets behind us. Our parents are great, and we're very fortunate in that regard. I'd like to thank our staff. Our staff have a whole table here tonight of my staff here, and these guys do a lot. They made me come solo last year, so they didn't. I think they only came for the food because I promised I'd pay. Coach Pete, yeah, they only came for the food, but nonetheless, they are here. I was joking the other day because I told Coach Peterman and Coach Bolin have been with me for 20 years now on staff, and I have a really good loyal staff, and we can now tell our kids we've been coaching football together longer than any of them have been alive, you know. And I thought, man, I feel really old. And then I got here and I started talking to Coach If, and I thought, oh boy, this guy, Coach If's probably coaching some of his players' grandkids. You know, I can't say that. I can't say that. No, but seriously, I just want to say about my coaches, these are men of great integrity and character, who are not only good coaches, but they live and exemplify the core tenets of our program in every aspect of their lives. And that's what it's all about, preparing the young men in these programs, all these programs up here, for real life. And I know all these coaches would attest to that. All sports, are important in doing that, but in my opinion, I think none more so than high school football. I truly believe that one of the last true classrooms in America is the high school football field. It's a place that's brutally honest, a place that doesn't care who your parents are, a place that doesn't care what color your skin is, whether you're rich, whether you're poor, whether you're Christian, whether you're Jewish, or whether you're woke or not. The high school football field's a place where you're forced to learn how to overcome adversity, a place where you're forced to put others before yourself and check your ego at the door, a place where you'll find out what you're made of real quick, but be given the opportunities and the tools to develop physical and mental toughness to be made more. But that's the big picture stuff that happens every single day behind the scenes. You guys are interested in who's playing this coming year, all right? So a little preview of this year, talk about a couple key players that we lost last year. Every one of us was going through this with, we don't get to keep them forever. You know, they graduate. So a couple key guys that we lost last year, Quake Beatty, a linebacker, did a really good job for us for a number of years. Our quarterback, who had been a quarterback for 3.5 years, Sam Carter, graduated. And that's going to be a learning curve to replace. You know, anytime you have to place a new quarterback. Tanya McComb, who set the season record for interceptions last year in the defensive backfield. And probably most difficult to replace is Colton Thomas, a dynamic player for us that did a lot on both sides of the ball for a number of years. So who do we got coming back? We got a solid core of 7 offensive starters returning, including 4 of our 6 on the offensive line up front, including our tight end. So we're excited about our offensive line. We returned 4 of 6. Oops, I already said that. We returned Grady Kinsey, all right, at running back. And Grady Kinsey had a very good freshman and sophomore season, and we're really excited about what he's going to do. He's already on his way to becoming one of the prolific players that we've had, and he's going to be a junior this year. So we expect a lot out of him. Some other guys returning on offense that played last year is Eric Golder and Owen Faulkner, and a couple of those other receivers are going to have to do what KT did for us as a committee, because we don't have one player like that anymore. But we got some key guys up front. We're excited about our offensive line. We expect some big contributions from some newcomers, including our quarterback, who's going to take Sam's spots, Riker Williams, as a sophomore. He's going to be a good player, we think, and we're excited to see what he's going to do back there. Some key newcomers that are also you'll hear from, Colton Smith, Rowan Pacine, Titan Peterman. We're going to be young, but these young guys have waited their time, and they put into work. We've had a really good off season, and we're excited for the season. I'd like to wish all the teams here the best of health this year, and thank you.
8? Seriously, 8? Wow.
It has been 8 years, and it has gone very, very fast.
Yes.
Thank you, Tuscarawas County Hall of Fame, for having us. Thank you to my administration back there for all your support. Thank you to my wife, one person that people forgot to thank up here so far. So I've learned that. In my 8 years, I have learned that. I'm going to start with a quick story about last season before I get into the upcoming season. So for our first playoff game last year, We went down to Grandview Heights, which is just outside of Columbus. It happens to be right outside of Ohio State's campus. I wish I could describe that environment to you. Representing a town that Woody Hayes grew up in, just outside of college where he won national championships, was special, to say the least. Needless to say, there was something in the air that night. Then, to win the game on a late field goal was magic. And that was the only field goal we even kicked that whole year, even attempted. So I would like to think that maybe we had a little help in that one. All right, as far as this upcoming season, I'm really happy for the progress we've been making heading into this year. We've come a long way in the strength department. To put it in perspective, when I became the head coach here, we had one athlete that could bench 225 pounds, and to some of you that probably means nothing, but to a lot of you, you understand. Now, this season, almost every single starter that we will put on the field can do that. So that shows you how far we've come in the strength department, and that's a big part of the success that we've been having. We consistently had 30-plus players at each of our summer workouts. We have 39 athletes on our roster, which is the most we've had in a long, long time. This should give us the opportunity to play junior varsity games this year, which I'm really excited about because I think that's the next step, will help our program take the next step. We returned 15 lettermen this year and almost all of our all-conference players from last year. We have 11 seniors that we'll be counting on for leadership, and it's also encouraging that we have 14 freshmen out for the team this year, so we're happy about that. X's and O's wise, we're going to continue to run the football. The nice part about returning a lot of players with varsity experience is that they have a very good grasp on our playbook. It also helps we only have 3 plays in our playbook, so. That's kind of a joke. Depending on how well we execute, our stuff that we do will determine how creative we get offensively. We may do a few things differently. Defensively, though, I thought we gave up too many big plays at crucial points last season. We're going to definitely do some things differently defensively in order to address this issue. Schedule-wise, we have a couple new additions. We play Claymont and Toronto. We begin our season at Bern Union. There's a lot to be excited for with Newcomerstown football this season. We're coming off our 2nd consecutive playoff appearance and the first playoff win in the history of our school. With that being said, I continuously remind our team that we get what we earn. Go Trojans. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to be here today. You know, a couple years ago, I was one of those past coaches. I just knew that I was done being a head coach, and you know, every time I try to get out, they keep pulling me back in. But I'm here, you know, and I'm very excited to be back at Claymont. It's home for me. I was born and raised in Denison, and I know where all the dead bodies are, and I know where all the holes are. You know, having a great time down there working with the kids. One thing I always said, I'm going to coach football as long as the Lord gives me the strength to do it. You know, last couple years I was at Hilliard Bradley High School. You know, last season we were in the Final Four against Lakewood St. Ed's, and that was an experience within itself. Anybody that's played them, you know what I mean. But, you know, a lot of what I've done as far as my coaching and where I've coached at is, I always say it's divine intervention. You know, after the season was over last year, I just happened to wake up one morning and say, you know what, I'm moving back to Tuscarawas County. Okay, so I called my sister because we have a house right across the street from my mom. And so I called them, they were trying to rent it out. I said, don't rent it out, I'm coming, I'm gonna come and live there. About a week later, I started thinking, what am I gonna do when I go up there? You know, I said, am I gonna try to hook on with one of the coaching staffs there or go up to Canton? I had no idea. And then all of a sudden, a week later, the Claymont job comes open. Tell me that's not divine intervention. And I applied for it and got the job, and been working really hard trying to change a culture that's existed there way too long. Those kids have won 8 games in 5 years. That's less than 2 games a year. And I'm going to do everything I can to try to get to change the outcome of some of those games. One of the big reasons why I realized that we lost some of those games is because, when you average missing 30 tackles a game, you're probably going to lose. So what we've done is we do our tackler circuit every day. We've bought some tackling equipment. Want to do all we can. I don't know if it's going to help or not. I like to think it will. We've got some good kids that have been working hard. They were working hard before I got there. The one thing I know about these kids are hungry. They're ready to win. They want to win. How good we're going to be, I have no idea because I have nothing to compare them to. I haven't seen any other teams, that we'd be going up against. I just know that we have talent, we have speed, and I have no idea how we are going to, how we're going to react when we run into adversity. Are they going to resort back to their old losing ways, or are they going to stick with the program and they're going to slug through it? Hopefully I got them in a position that they will elect to do those things right there. I'd like to thank my administration and the parents and friends of the program that came out today. It's really good to see you. I'd like to thank Touchdown Club for inviting me. I know down in Columbus, we were on TV quite a few times, when I was at Reynoldsburg. And the media attention up here is 10 times better than it was down in Columbus. We had the dispatch, we had a few people, but I'm getting calls and people want to talk, want to interview me, want to do this and that. I don't mind it. Anything I can do to try to sell our program, I'm going to do it. Like I said, our kids are practicing right now. I'm hoping that this gets over pretty quick. So I can go be with my guys. But it's a blessing for me to be back here. I ride around Dennis and Yorksville every time I go down there, just because that's home to me. I live in Dover, but I'm down there every day, spending a lot of time. I've met a lot of old friends, and I've met a lot of new friends, and I hope that those new friends will still be my friends after the first game. I don't know what to expect, but I know that we're going to play hard. We're going to play with the proper fundamentals. We have some speed that we're going to take advantage of. We have some pretty decent linemen that we're developing, and pray for me. Thank you.
Hello, thank you for having me. I appreciate the Hall of Fame for putting this on. It's great for the community to get all the coaches together, get everyone here to all appreciate a sport that we all love so much. Football means a lot to Tuscarawas County. Football means a lot to Tuscarawas Central Catholic. Tuscarawas Central Catholic, as a lot of you guys know, back in the 70s and 80s and 90s, had a great program. We were one of the tops in the IVC. We competed every year. We weren't just someone to throw on your schedule for a quick, easy win. So I'm here to bring change to Central Catholic. Central Catholic, as we all know, has been down for a little while, and I am here to resurrect this program. I want to spend every day adding a block to our foundation. We are building for the future. Every step we take is to improve ourselves, is to move forward, is to teach our players how to play football correctly, safely, and how to build and become a relevant player again in the IVC. Going forward, our team will start to look upon like we all wanted our teams to look like. We'll start stepping up, being leaders in our community, being good young men, and bringing football tradition back to the area, which all of us, love to enjoy on the weekends and watch. So I don't have a past history with the school. I went to Central Catholic. I played for Coach John Zuckel. I have kids in the feeder system. I used to coach here. My lovely wife there in the back. We started having a family, so stepped away for a little bit, but now I'm back. And I'm looking forward to what the future has for Central Catholic, and looking forward to growing this and being a part of your guys' lives on the weekends as well, especially on our Saturday games. So that's all I have. Thank you, guys.
Well, it is an honor to be here. This is, I didn't know what to expect, so this is a much bigger event than I anticipated, to tell you the truth. So, it is an honor to be here with all these coaches. There are a lot of legends and a lot of legends in the room. Like I said, it's really nice to put something like this together and get enthusiasm for football. The media aspect, it is good to have an active media that focuses on high school sports. Some smaller schools have a hard time with numbers and getting kids to want to play, and parents worried about safety. And when you could show sports in a positive light and give it the attention it deserves, it makes it easier to get kids out and participate, and allows us to do what we need to do. And football is, like I said, I believe it's the greatest sport ever. It is essential. You know, I think it's an important teaching tool to keep kids engaged and teach about accountability in modern times in a way that a lot of other things can't. So, and it reaches kids that will normally be, the best and brightest or given the opportunities. So it is a big tent. We need everybody. We'll pull them from all walks of life. Like we said, all races, colors, and creeds are welcome. So it is one of the few things where we're taking everybody and not cutting people or running people off. So I do appreciate this type of event. It's something new to me. I've been, like I said, I'm a Stark County guy, but I've been coaching in Carroll County, and there's nothing like this happening down there. So I do appreciate it. I inherited a kind of a program on an upswing, so they had experienced some success early in their season, and had some injuries, some disappointments, and things like that. And but really got a taste of winning and a taste of success. And I just believe they were in a lot of close games. So as a competitor against them, you felt like they were a dangerous team and had a lot of potential. And I was honored to get the job. The administration of Tusky Valley has been a class act through the hiring process. So I had not really applied for any head coaching jobs in a long time, and decided to because I thought it was a great program and be a good opportunity for me. And I was a good fit for the community, and they've been good to me every step of the way. And it's I've put together a really good staff. I appreciate them. They're here. They showed up. They're all new to me, so they're not my best buddies from high school and college. They're, we're in that awkward get-to-know-you phase of coaching football. And it's the beginning of a brotherhood. So I've been in this business a long time, and my football family has grown and changed. And but I'm really proud to have them. They've been great so far. They're great leaders and leader of young men. And like I said, it's a good thing to have kids around people like that, and for long periods of time. It's going to help them in the long run. As far as specifics, we have a great offensive line. We plan to run the ball. We have a lot of question marks at the skill spots, but we do have potential. It's like I said, we're getting to know them. I'm giving them, they get the benefit of the doubt, so I'm letting them all have their opportunities, and they appreciate that. So I think sometimes there's a little distrust when there's a new guy, but there's also the upside that it's a fresh start, and we got some kids out that maybe had things that they didn't like about the previous staff and things like that. But we've been really lucky. The kids have been great. Like I said, they've welcomed me. We've had a great kind of thrown together off-season lifting schedule, which they really showed up, trusted me, and put a lot of effort in, which is it's good to know. So I got about 30 guys. I don't know if that's good or bad at Tusky Valley, but compared to what I've been, that's enough. Like I said, obviously we'd like to have more kids out, but like I said, we have outstanding, one of the best offensive line groups from tackle to tackle that I've coached personally. So I'm looking forward to running the ball and building off of that. And we had to retain our defensive coordinator, Chase Cooper, and their defense is pretty sound from last year. And we're just kind of sticking with that and going to run with it. And I'm running the offense, and it's been a while since I've been on that side of the ball. So I've been a defensive coordinator for years, and an offensive coordinator in Florida. So it's kind of reinvigorated me to be on the offensive side, so I'm kind of excited about that. But everything about Tusky County has been great, and I'm honored to be here. So, thank you.
I remember that.
No, I didn't. Thank you, Mr. Keithley. And thank you, Tuscarawas County Hall of Fame. I really appreciate this. This is amazing, the draw that we have today. It just shows the passion that people have for sport of football. This is incredible. Sitting there, taking this all in, listening to the coaches. It's another season of a great start, a great beginning. And each season's different. Last year for Strasburg was Team 76. They had their own identity, their own way of doing things. This year we're Team 77. We're completely different. Even though we're a young team that has a lot of experience, they are trying to own what they do in their own way. I sit here and I was watching these tables, and it was really neat because each table was so excited about their team's prospects of what's going to happen this year. Last year, we had 6 out of 9 schools make the playoffs in Tuscarawas County. That's incredible. This year, I hope it's more. I hope we're a part of it. I would like to be here to feel that energy that I hear the coaches talk about in weeks 11 and 12, if you're fortunate enough to do that. Team 77 in Strasburg needs to do that. They understand that, and they're working hard to get there. The excitement, the enthusiasm that I hear out of the voices from everybody around is outstanding. The passion for sports in Tuscarawas County goes unmatched. Goes unmatched by far. I don't care. I'll argue with any county in flippin' Ohio to come and see if they can outdo what we do. Just go to any game on any Friday night. It doesn't matter. They spoke about the crowds at Garaway for the playoff game. I mean, drive by Dover, Philly. They practically shut down the towns. And that goes for everywhere else. The community of Strasburg is ready for something that the young men build on. And with that, Team 77 is fortunate enough to have 27 committed young men. Our junior high has 21. So I believe the future is bright at Strasburg. And with the help of Gary Spinell, the AD at Strasburg, who has bent over backwards to help our team and help me to try to be successful, we need to do that. My coaching staff's here, at least two of the bunch that we have, and Brian Reinball and Peyton Spiker have worked tremendously hard. We expect great things, and I think our young men expect the same. It's going to be an exciting year. I love this time of year because it's fresh, it's new. Everybody right now is on the same page. Everybody right now is going through the same thing. And it'll be great to see in week 11 who is standing at the top. And I know everyone in here will be proud of whatever community you're from and how they did. So with that, I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to work hard. I've seen it so far, and I think I expect it to carry on. So I think Strasburg is going to be in the run for some stuff this year. And that's my hope, and that's the excitement that I have with it. So thank you very much, and go everybody.
All right, thank you. First, I have to thank Ed Marsh for the gift certificate from Speedway. Thank you for that. I'd also like to thank our administration. They're excellent. Amy Wentworth and Jeff Williams, our athletic director, Tim Fortney. It's Fortney. I'm stressed out by these two. Our high school principal and our middle school principal. They're sitting up here. It reminds me, like, you know, the Muppet Show. There's always those two old guys up there. Like, all I can picture is them just heckling everything I say and just elbowing each other and talking the whole time. And it makes me slightly uncomfortable, but I think that keeps me on my toes, so that's probably best for all of us. Thanks for the Hall of Fame for having this event. We're really excited. One of the things, one of the groups it's fun to be a part of, it's fun to come in early and talk with these other coaches. They've welcomed me in, and that's something I'm thankful for them, and it's something I hope I can do to others. But it's wonderful because they're in unique positions to lead their community and to lead their youth of their community, and that's what we try to do, and we try to do that as well as we can. And one of those things that we push I know that all of these guys push is accountability, and that's been something big we've been talking about for the last week or so as the Quakers have been practicing. And that accountability is something that really we all have responsibilities. We all have things that we must do. We all have things we need to do. We all have standards that we want to live up to. And when we talk about that accountability, it's trying to teach our young people to do that. And it's one of those things that's challenging to get them to buy into something that's bigger than them. And all of these guys have 30, 40 kids, 50 kids who are coming every day, who are working to do that, who are working to be invested in something that's bigger. And that's one of the things that I love about football is all these kids come in. When we look at the Quakers coming up for this next year, it's pretty exciting. We have 12 returning lettermen. A lot of those guys ended up playing both ways. We returned 6 guys on offense, 7 on defense. They're spirited. They're fun to be around. We have a senior class of kids who, some of them have been 3-year starters. And that group's fun to be around because they have experience and they have great personalities. We have a junior class, and some of those juniors played as sophomores and have grown up before our eyes, and it's been wonderful to see that. And then we have a sophomore class that's looking to help chip in because they're super athletic. So we see this competition. We see the kids get out and perform. We see them compete, which has been great. And we try to hold them to that high standard of being accountable every single day. And some days it's a little easier than others. Some days it's running for mouthpieces, or I think I've gone through more mouthpieces this year than ever before. I just ordered more, Tim. They're coming. But that's, yeah, we're also running for it tomorrow too. But no, that's part of the accountability. And these kids are not afraid to put in the work. They're not afraid to put in the time. They are committed, and they're committed to be as good as they can be, and they're willing to make those sacrifices to come out each day with all these coaches in here to try to get there. And that's one of the things that we love about football is it brings those people together. It brings communities together. It's fun because we get to talk a little trash towards each other, but it's also fun because we know that everybody's going through it and everybody's competing and everybody's doing something hard, and that's one of those things that's really, really valuable and that we love about football. So we're excited about this group. We're excited for the guys returning. We're excited for the newcomers who come in, and we're really excited for, I'd say, Saturday to kind of find out what kind of teams we have as we start scrimmaging. So thanks for coming out, and go Quakers.
I too would like to thank everybody and thank the Hall of Fame committee. I'd like to acknowledge my table over here. We've been placed over here today for some unexplained reason. But there's my superintendent, Carrie McCrate, Assistant Superintendent Seth Corder, Chad Shy, who handles all our maintenance and facilities, and Tim McCrate, our athletic director, Brooke Grafe, my principal. Brooke and Tim are from Claymont and Barnesville, so they know how to fight, so we're pretty good that way. We got Matt Reese, my defensive coordinator, and his wife, cheerleading advisor, Courtney Reese. And we have some real good cheers, I guess, this year. I don't know. So I was not going to write anything down, and I just scribbled some things because apparently things were said about me while I was sitting over here, and I'm like, I guess the fight's on. First of all, let's talk about Percy. Percy never led a prayer on our team because we would have had to delay a game. Obviously. It was never like, Percy, get the prayer before we got in the field. No. All right. Jason has 13 varsity coaches. Who are the 2 kids to get 2 guys? Who you got 1 coach per guy or what? 1 coach per kid? And just what do you do? And Matt Lancaster, do I look like Joe Biden? What's going on? I guarantee you I can run up and down steps and I will not stumble, I will not trip or anything of that nature. My gosh. Bill Morgan, you've used your 2 questions, that's it. You got 2 and that's it. It's over. It's over, Bill Morgan. Jim picks up the turf, right? He picks up grass. Well, turf started, right? So Jim picks up turf. He owes us $150. We had to replace turf at 15 different facilities. Thanks, Jim. By the way, I'd like to thank and acknowledge my Tornado Club. Sorry, guys, before I got on my rant there. I love you guys and appreciate you. Oh, my gosh. And then Coach Taylor. You coached me at Perry High School in 1990. I have no idea who he is. I'm sorry, bud. Did I make you run or anything of that nature? Was I bad? Did I swear?
Every once in a while.
Okay. No, I love you, man. I'm just teasing you, obviously. Man, it's going crazy here. And then they put New Philadelphia in front of you. You think you're intimidating me? You're not. I'm too old, guys. Just ask Lancaster. I'm too old. My Lord. But it's interesting. Love it. And I love you guys from Philly. You're fun. Jim Meese. I saw Jim. I told Jim this is a true story. My wife decided we need to look for plots. She must have talked to Lancaster. I don't know. So I had to look for plots, right? So I got a plot 2 headstones down from Jim Meese. It's called Coach's Corner at St. Joe Cemetery. So there we go, buddy. I just won't put my headstone up like you've done so far, so I won't do that. But that's cool. I didn't eat dinner today because we had lunch today. Mother's Fed is great, and they gave us a Tuscarawas County delicacy, which everybody knows I love, which are cream chicken sandwiches. Do not love them. I do not love them. But I took 2 of them because I was starving, went home, took a nap. Joe Biden, there we go. All right. But anyway, I am kind of old, I guess, but I love my kids. I love the game. I enjoy these guys here. I play against 2 of them. They've got tremendous coaching staffs, and they're tremendously coached. We play Indian Valley, New Philadelphia. You're not going to find 2 better coaching staffs and facility teams as far as like knowing the X's and O's and how hard they play and all that type of stuff. You're not going to find them anywhere. Those guys do a wonderful job. I've seen a lot of these other guys. Jim coached with me for a while. I know Jason well. I'm familiar. We did some 7-on-7s, down in Columbus with Coach, and so I know them very well. And they have the right things in mind for children. It's more than the X's and O's. It's more than wins and losses. Okay. By the way, Mike, did you find that gas card kind of a funny gift? Did you find?
Yeah, but Eddie's a funny guy.
Yeah, I just wondered about that, Eddie. Come on, Ed. We need to keep him around a while. All right. But Mike's kids are X and O'd well. Lancaster, Matt's kids are X and O'd well. But it's more than that. It's about character, and it's about teaching, and it's about making a kid believe in himself. I had to deal with a youngster today that didn't want to run for something, and I said, when are you going to learn that we care for you? And with tears in his eyes, he said, I already know that, Coach. I said, well, this isn't the hardest thing that's going to happen to you. I wish I could tell you this was going to be the toughest thing to happen to you, but it's not. And I tell my kids after every time we have a loss, and hopefully you don't have many, but you have them. That's life. In this game, you get knocked down. People are allowed to run into you at full speed in this game. That's odd, and it's hard. And so we get a lot of kids that don't want to come out and play the sport. And I think it carries with, I don't know if COVID caused it, I don't know what happened, but somewhere along the line, we've gotten soft. And I'm a political science major, and I am terrified where our government's headed right now. I am terrified with the Middle East. I am terrified that they're going to call my grandchildren to war someday over problems that we could solve. And we're not solving them because we're not tough enough. And I think it was Teddy Roosevelt in 1905 said, we can't give up football. Called the presidents of the Ivy League in because 18 people died that year in football. It used to be a little scrum like this, and people broke legs and bones and concussions and bad things, real bad things, worse than today. And he said the only way we can save this game is by incorporating a forward pass, because football prepares children, prepares our young men to lead families, to lead a nation, to fight if we need to fight. And no other sport makes us get up after we get knocked down. The last thing I tell my team before we take the field is, you're getting knocked down tonight. You're getting knocked down. Get up, get over it, get after it. That's life. That's life. It's not going to be easy for everybody. It never is. And so that's what we talk about. And we talk about self-belief. Our kids have lost a lot of confidence in this world. They've lost confidence. Nobody believes in them anymore. You got to believe in kids. You got to make them believe in themselves. They give me back, in the 30 years I've been at Dover, more than I've ever given them. And every year I come back and I'm a little bit better for it. My wife says the same. You say the same thing every year. I come home, she goes, what's wrong? I go, we're bad. We're bad. We can't block. We can't tackle. We can't catch. We can't throw. And she says, you say that every year. I'm like, well, then that's a good sign. She said to me, you're wearing nothing with Dover on. I said, you really think they need me to wear something to know who I am? I'm not that pompous, but come on, I've been here a long time. But nonetheless, that's important to us as far as making young people believe. And these cell phones, we preach at our kids, go dark during football. Please go dark. I can't control that, but go dark. So many of our children are suffering today because of cell phones. Think about it. How many people in this room were ever bullied? How many people had to stand up for themselves? Yeah. Maybe got knocked down, but you gained respect, right? Today, bullying takes on a whole different face. It's not one kid. It's not 10 kids. It's 1,000 likes. It's 20,000 likes, and kids think they're useless and worthless, and then they go take their life. That happens every freaking day. And so we as coaches are fighting this, constantly telling kids, you got this, you got this, you got this, pick yourself up. And so, you see that one of the best stories we got is I got a little kid, was 115 pounds last year, he's 135 pounds this year. And he finally likes the way he looks in the mirror because he's been lifting weights. He doesn't bench 225, not yet. He will, but he looks better. He looks better. I always said, you have mirrors in your house, right? Look in the mirror, say something positive to yourself every flipping day. Every day. Because if you say that, you'll learn it, you'll start believing it, you'll grow, and you'll develop. And let's get better 1% every day. Every day. Grow, learn, achieve. There's so much you can accomplish in life. Don't let anybody tell you can't do something. We tell our kids there is nothing we cannot handle. Nothing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're bigger than us. It doesn't matter. You may knock us down. It doesn't matter. We're getting up. We're getting up. We may bleed a while, but we're getting back. And I think every kid in every program is being fed that, and that's awesome. That's incredible. But it's tough to be a football player. Whether you're in Tuscarawas County or Stark County or Franklin County or wherever, it's tough to be a football player. 2 days are no fun. Practice is not fun. Fun to play baseball. I love baseball. It's fun. I just sit out in the outfield and shag fly balls. I don't have to do a whole lot. All right? I love to bat. I love to shoot free throws. Basketball's fun. Football's not fun. Football's not fun. I broke my nose badly in football. I was destined for Hollywood, but this happened. Okay? This happened. So I broke it bad. I remember my mother yelling at my father, he looks like that because of you. You made him play. Well, at the time, my nose was pretty bad. They had to fix it, but nonetheless. But I grew from that day. I gained respect for myself, and I gained respect from other people. I wasn't a superstar. Notre Dame didn't recruit me. But nonetheless, it changed who I was as a human being. And it gave me this game. And I've made a career out of this, a life out of this. It's been a great life because I've worked for a great school system and great people. They've been more than kind for me. So when I go to the last game of the year, you guys treat me nice, okay? Be nice, okay? Beavis, you guys don't line up like this anymore, okay? Because I'm a nice guy, okay? And I love going over there and teasing with your chain guys and all that type of stuff. But I appreciate the opportunity. Our kids are going to fight hard. We've got some, 3 really good linemen. I've got some speed, Tuscarawas County speed. I don't know if it's, Franklin County, Stark County speed, but we've got some speed. We've got our QB back. We've got our kicker back, which is important. Punter, we've got a good punter. And we've got some little gnats on defense that are pretty darn tough, and they're going to have to move around a little bit because I can't wear those three best linemen we've got out. We've got a great staff of people. We care for each other. Obviously, they're not my friends or they'd be here tonight. Teasing, I love them. I don't require them to be here in any of that nature. But we are excited for the season. We open up with green, which is a really good challenge for us. I don't know if we can tackle yet because our numbers are down a little bit, so I'm afraid to tackle in practice because I don't want to lose a kid in practice. So we'll have to learn. We play Glen Oak Saturday, and we're going to learn to hurry. If we can catch them, we'll practice. We'll tackle them, but we'll learn. And through the 30-play series of O and 30-play series of D, somewhere along the line, we're going to learn how to tackle. But I can't afford to lose a kid in practice. So I do believe in tackling every day, full live, but I just can't do it this year. The numbers are a little bit low. I got a sophomore class that's not real big. They're talented, but not real big, and that's where your depth usually comes from in that regard. So I thank everybody for this. God bless everybody, and let's go Tuscarawas County. Have a great fall, and let's just cheer like crazy and have a little bit of fun and separate ourselves from how this troubled world is. Okay? God bless you. Thank you.
Thanks, Hank. In closing, well, I'm all pumped up now. You'll have to bear with me. I want to run through those doors. In closing, I'd like to again thank all the coaches, administrators, table sponsors, former coaches, Hank for moderating tonight, the media, including Big Time Sports, WJR, WTUZ, WBTC, the Times Reporter, and the Bargain Hunter for helping promote this event, as well as their continuous support for our Valley's various high school sports. Denny Trimmer of Solid Rock Photography for donating his time and talent as our photographer, and Greg Perkins for our video, and for all the attendees that made it tonight. I'd like to thank the Senior Center for hosting us again. The food was great, it really was. I'd like to thank our premium event sponsor, and if you haven't noticed, it's Altman Hospital and Alt Care, and they've been very kind to us. And we'd like to thank our business event sponsors, Alban Title, Kennedy Insurance, Farrah Chevrolet Toyota, and Modern Menswear. I'd like to remind everybody that we need your help in nominating people for the Hall of Fame. We've got some nominating forms here tonight, or you can get them through the Dover Library. If you know of anybody, get some details, get it to us, and we'll flesh it out, and we're always looking for the best. We also have applications for the Friends Hall of Fame for the Tuscarawas Sports Hall of Fame. They're here tonight, and you can also get those at the Dover Library if you want to become a friend of the Hall. Next year's event will be about this time. We'll announce the exact time and place, but this football preview has gone over real well, and so this year we're going to have a girls preview, and we're going to have a boys basketball preview. We thought the basketball programs deserved that. The girls preview is going to be on November 4th, and the boys preview is going to be on November 11th. They'll be here at the Senior Center, and we'll give you more details as we get closer. So it's been a great evening. Always enjoy it. I'd like to thank everybody again. Hope you had a good time, and have a safe trip home. Thank you very much.